Show.
Hello. This is Byron with Breaking Ice, Building Bridges. I feel like I've been doing marathon sessions because I have been here for hours and days. I don't even know my name. Hello, I'm Byron. Hello, Byron. Well, good. I remember my name. I am back, and things are going well here. And I have two lovely guests today, which I completely forgot their last name, but I have Sherry and Linda. Let's spend the next 20 minutes learning your last name.
Hi, my name is Sherry Williams. That's my last name.
So SW.
SW, like Southwest.
Yes.
So wonderful.
Or Swift.
Swift, yeah.
Very nice name.
Or like the airline.
Yeah.
Or the airline.
And I am Linda Wynn, so I'm an LH initial. HUYNH.
Yes.
H.
U.
U.
Y.
Y.
N.
N.
H.
H. Linda Wynn.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Linda.
You're very welcome.
Now, Linda's worried about saying the wrong thing here. So these were instructions I was sent in with from the lovely Leah outside. So blame Leah on this. But she would like us to talk about popsicles and pain.
Pain.
Popsicle and pain.
Yes.
Pain, okay.
Now, what correlation could there
Double
be
Ps.
between popsicle and pain?
The only thing I can think of, popsicles are cold, and a lot of times when you have pain, you could put cold compress. So if you put your cold popsicle in a Ziploc bag, you can put it on the spot of pain just for a limited time.
You're
Because
putting that on your butt right now. So
no,
are you
no,
having
it's on my
pain
leg.
down there?
It's my leg. It's my leg. It's not my butt.
I have a little pain.
No pain right here. No. That is,
My mother used to say that to me all the time. I got a little pain right here. Go to your room.
I bet she did.
She did. So she did. People would come up to her and they go, Byron always says he was a bad kid, but he wasn't, was he, Miss Jackson? She, oh, yes, he was. So that's very good. So use it for a compress.
Yes.
Nice job.
Compress.
This is why you're on the show, Sherry, to help us clear this up. Okay, Miss Popsicle Lady.
Leah, I want to say she is indeed lovely. What comes to mind for me when you say popsicles and pain? Well, popsicles make anyone happy, young, old, in between. And the pain part takes away your pain even momentarily when you're enjoying that popsicle.
Wow. Well, I will tell you for me with that's pretty good too. I like that, actually. I love your hair, by the way.
Oh, is this going to be video recorded?
No.
I didn't brush my hair today.
No, I just
love the
see.
coloring.
No one would have known that ever. I bet you just
You're
shared that.
calling me out, Byron.
I called you out. I said, what did I say, Sherry?
You have a lovely hair. I love your hair.
Thank you very much. And you said this mess, and
It's my default. It is.
If she wakes up and looks like that,
yeah,
what can we all say other than wow?
You're sweet. You're sweet.
Yes, you're very beautiful. But can I do my popsicle and pain
Oh, please.
thing? So mine was, I started thinking of when I was a kid and the popsicle man would come by and we couldn't afford to go to the popsicle man. And so I remember, like my grandmother, she would like get little popsicles at the store, which were fine, but I wanted like the popsicle man's popsicles because he was running down the street. And so that was kind of painful to sit there and just hear this from miles away.
And you said, not me.
You're looking through your couch cushions for change.
And man, your parents, as a parent, you just understand, but as a kid, You don't understand not being able to have something.
Exactly.
And so
it's painful for the parents.
For the child.
For
more
both, too, I think for both.
That's true.
Now, do you have children?
I do. I have two, a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old. And it is painful when we can't, get them what they want at that moment.
Yeah.
You want to.
Now, the hardest part of being a mom for you?
The hardest part?
The pain part of being a mom.
Well, in theme with Mother's Day yesterday, right? I can't think at the top of my head, but at the moment, probably just leaving them for the day, knowing that you want to spend time with them, to help develop them, to learn, to teach them. And, we're working moms. And when we got to go, we got to go. And hopefully they understand when they become parents one day.
The popsicle part of being a parent.
Well, I happen to own and operate a popsicle stand. And this opportunity is allowing me to show them how to be responsible, how to communicate, how to manage, how to be human and look people in the eye and get to know them. Mm-hmm. That's initially.
So you like that as being a parent?
I do. It's about communication in general.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have children?
Yes. They are grown, and I even have a granddaughter.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's more fun with the granddaughter, but children were fun as well. So do you want popsicle and pain with them?
Yeah.
I'll have to agree with Linda. The hardest thing, and I kind of go back when I was a kid, I remember growing up and my mother being home up until I started kindergarten. And I didn't want to, first of all, my brothers were older than me. They would leave and I wanted to go to school with them. But when it was time for me to go to school, I said, no, I want to stay with Mom. And that was painful. But as a mother myself, when I had to work and I also had a side business, it took a lot of time away from children. So that was painful. But the joy is to seeing their development as they were growing up, their independence, their quest for knowledge, the ability to make sure that they had all the tools necessary to become successful adults and responsible taxpayers. That's the joy. And then the icing on the cake was having the granddaughter.
The granddaughter.
Oh, my goodness.
Isn't that, I was thinking like a Native American folklore for some tribes, like every part of our life has like some piece of sacredness with it. And so really women working, it's almost like we should do a ceremony to honor that there's something that you leave behind, a piece of your soul that you leave behind when you go to work and leave your children. And but we just have a stiff upper lip and do that. But there's something that's lost and the sacrifice that you have to make too.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So I salute you guys on your sacrifice. What do you do? So you run a popsicle stand. Do you do that full time?
I'm actually a realtor full time. And through my experience as a realtor, I was able to get to know a lot of families, their situations, single women from, even abusive relationships, and transitioning families from one chapter of their lives to another. And I just discovered that I like getting to know people, and I just want to help them find even a moment of happiness. And last year I decided to inquire a popsicle company. And that has helped me. Byron, you put me on the spot.
I did?
Leah, she put me on the spot too. Overall, it might be it's selfish of me. I'm really able to discover myself through people and their stories, and it allows me to open up to people like you, Byron and Sherry. And so this is what this journey is all about for me.
You know that you have a really wonderful personality. And so the more I talk to you, the more I realize how much you have to offer people. And I think you're sharing your story isn't just for you. And I think it's really, you have a lot that you can teach other people too. Because you have a lot that's you've done, and you're just, and that you've overcome. Sorry there. I'll leave you there.
I'm so glad it's not a video recording because you would see my eyes well up. Byron, you're being too kind. I really appreciate it.
I'll leave now. I'll go over to Sherry. I'm sorry. What do you do, Sherry? Let's start where I started with.
Well, let me tell you what I do now.
Okay.
Now I can tell you what I used to. I'm a retired application specialist for the Department of Human Services. I, dealt with computer programming and network, a little bit of network design, but mostly application designs for different systems for the state.
How long did you do that?
Over 30 years. 30 years at the state. But I also did for the city of Oklahoma City. I worked at AT&T.
So that was, I know I keep interrupting you, but
that's fine.
But that was before people had personal computers, wasn't it?
Right. It started out before they had personal computers. Yeah. But fortunately, when I went to school, guess what they had? They had the Hollerith cards, the punching cards. Yeah. And you had that stack, and you put in there, you had to wait until 2 hours to get the results. You have an error in your code, for giving instructions to the computer. But when I started working, they were state of the art, which was great. You can just enter in your code. You didn't have to send it to Key Punch. None of that, So that was that's what I did prior. So right now, what I do, I love doing what I do, which is helping develop people, and through Toastmasters in their oral communications, their written communication, and their listening skills. I love connecting with people. And I just, Linda is, you can see her heart. But when you're around people and have an opportunity to see people where they are, a lot of times you may see yourself. If you take the time to look people in the eye, feel their vibration. Not to sound so woo.
Keep going.
Yeah.
I'm in total agreement with you.
Yeah. And first of all, and another thing I know through in college or working, meeting people from different cultures is such a rich thing. I love that. But I said, if nothing else, I used to say this when I was in college, because we had, I could see people in their tribal just staying with this group. But I always want to talk to other people because guess what? We all like to eat. There's been no common denominator. We like that. We all want the same things: safety, security, a wonderful life. Who doesn't want that? Everyone wants that. So we can develop relationships just because we can. Yeah.
I was in Greece last week, and my wife and I were laughing because we said, a whiny kid, you could tell that no matter what language. Because there would kids be running through the restaurant and they'd be speaking the language we did. But I understand wine, so. Yeah. Well, that's really a very fascinating. There's a book called The Super String Theory. Have you ever? So it used to be, they're finding all this stuff out about atoms, like molecules and atoms. And for one, the space in the atom, they used to say it's the nucleus. You had like the proton and a neutron, and then there was space, which they said was nothing. But actually, that is not true. They have found that there's energy there, and that is called quantum. And so when people say they study quantum physics, they study the space that's in there. Well, if you break that cell down more and more, they say at the very basic, what we have are strings, little strings that vibrate. And the vibration level changes in terms of like how loud you talk, how angry you are. And so our vibrations, it's a scientific, it's not woo-woo, it is actually scientific that our ability to impact each other with vibrations is, so say you're ahead of the class there. What do you think about that, Linda?
I love it. I've just recently I don't know everything about it, just the surface. Even quantum scientists are just touching the surface of that. But everything has a vibration. The water, this tree, the air, the way we speak. I mean, and we can feel it. Even the wood has a vibration.
I am interested in, I've heard possibilities. I think that we're interested in quantum relationships. Like how do you get to the core of what connects us as human beings at the quantum level? And I'm very interested in, because it's not just emotional, it is actually a physical thing that is happening. And so, you know that like there's actually a term, quantum relationships. But what happens is when two cells are connected, even if they become one. Even if disconnected, miles apart, they still show traits of being together still.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
You know, when I saw you came in today, I said, I was looking at you, and that's what I do. When I have an opportunity to connect with someone, when they're not moving or fidgeting around, I'm feeling them, you know, in some kind of way. Whether it's receptive or whatever, or if it's neutral, it's like 3 stages, you know, anyway.
What was I?
You honestly seemed like you were a little subdued, more so than normal, from what I know. And I felt that you had a really busy weekend.
I did have a busy. Probably the thing, too, is I just walked out of a meeting to come over. And so it takes a while for my soul to settle, to be present. So just when you walk out a door and then you're into another door and I like to be present and open, but sometimes I'm like, we're doing stuff with the auditor and he sent me the wrong form. And so that I bring that in, and good stuff. I like to be with people too. It's just so interesting too. I could go to the store, like if I go to the bank, I end up making friends at the strangest. So I'm at the bank in the line, and like you could ask the person, "How are you doing?" And so sometimes they'll just go fine, but then sometimes they'll go, "I'll be glad when I get off." Mm-hmm. So then I could go, "Has it been a tough day?" And they go, "Yeah, you wouldn't." And so suddenly this door starts opening up a little bit. And the only thing that I have to do is be present. Yeah. And so I just think it's an amazing gift that we have to be able to be with one another. Mm-hmm. Has this been terrible, Linda?
Sitting here with you folks? No, I've enjoyed it very much. I wanted to be on the other side of the door, as you know, just peeping in on y'all's conversation.
I'm glad you came in.
Well, thanks for having me, Sherry.
If I could give you tips that just a 72-year-old could throw out to you, don't make yourself small. And people used to come up to me and say, man, that was a great workshop you did. And I go, oh, no, it really wasn't that. And so whenever people would build me up, I would make myself small. And so don't do that to yourself. I mean, I wouldn't ask you in here if I didn't feel like you had something to offer.
I appreciate that, Byron. I think it's the extra humble in me.
Yeah. That can also be, as the example that you use it, not only are you making yourself small when you say a thing like that, you can be insulting the person who gave you the compliment.
You are right.
It's like your judgment is off. I know better. I don't know how.
Point.
Yeah,
You're right, Sherry.
Think about it.
And I'm sorry, Byron. I love it.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you. No. But thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And you're going to do a podcast.
I am. It's going to include real estate. I hope to help families, women, people who don't know where to find resources like down payment assistance or credit counseling. There's a lot that our industry is changing quite a bit this year and maybe forever.
Popsicle real estate.
Yeah.
It could be a whole new thing.
Well, popsicles connect us.
That's what I'm saying. It could be a whole new thing.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
That means she's not going to listen to this idea I'm throwing out there about the popsicle.
It's going to be podcasts and popsicles and all things real estate.
Oh, very nice. Is that the name of it?
You know what? I haven't thought about the name yet.
I like that.
Podcasts and Pops.
Yes.
Okay. I might run
And
with
real
that.
estate.
And my name is Linda, and I've had people throw out, listen, Linda.
Oh, yeah. Listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda.
But I don't know. Is that copyrighted somewhere? I'm sure.
It might be copyrighted. We'll have to see.
Right. Maybe it might be.
Maybe
Listen,
not.
Linda. Listen.
Okay, you guys are going to work. Sherry, you have been fabulous to be on here.
Oh.
I can't wait to hear your podcast.
Oh, my goodness. I am excited to get started, and I just have to get started. Last month it was just a blur. And I don't know when we had the workshop. I don't know if it was last month or the month before. It was it?
Yeah,
It must have been the very beginning because it's like, I don't even know what happened in April.
Mother's Day.
Oh, that's in May.
Mother's Day happened.
Mother's Day was yesterday.
Yeah, that's a different month.
You were getting ready for Mother's Day.
Oh, no.
Ladies, thank you so much for coming on. Santiago stayed awake that entire broadcast.
Thank you,
guys
Santiago.
Did very, very good. This is Linda. Thank you. Sherry, thank you very much. This is Byron Jackson on Breaking Ice and Building Bridges. Goodbye.
Oh, hold up before you sign off.
Okay, hold up. I'm not signing off.
What is our last names?
We even spelled it for you.
Yeah.
That's right.
The initials and everything.
Said Wynn.
Uh-huh.
And Sherry, not Jones. Sherry. It's
Think airline.
Williams.
Williams.
Will you eat these yams?
Sherry
Yeah,
Williams.
Yeah,
Except
that's
for it
it.
was Southwest.
Okay. So
I knew it was a common. Welcome to the 72-year-old brain.
I just thought I'd give you that curveball. All right, you can sign off.
I want to hear Byron sing as a sign off.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
has been Breaking Ice, Building Bridges.
Uh-huh.
We're signing off right now. Woo!
Connecting a community through conversation.
Breaking Ice, Building Bridges is the Possibilities community podcast platform. Thanks for tuning in.